Let's go, let's go, let's go. And we're back with another one. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Value Menu Podcast, where value is given to you at no cost. We're here today, and my name is Moses Andre.
My name is Janelle Lewis.
And we got a special guest with us today, man. His name is Nana, great guy, entrepreneur, business owner. Yo, tell the people about yourself, man.
So my name is Nana Yaw Agyeman, and currently I'm the founder of AudioMe.
Yep.
AudioMe is like an AI-powered, community-inspired application to make reading and listening to books more immersive and interactive than currently is. On my real job, 9 to 6, I'm in tech and financial technology as a product manager.
Black man in tech.
Black man in tech.
Dope. Where you from, bro? Like, tell us a little bit backstory about you.
So I'm from Ghana.
Yeah.
I was born in Accra, Ghana.
Motherland.
And I came here when I was 6 years old. Funny story is that I was told I was going to get a haircut. And I got a haircut, and then I ended up here with my grandmother and my uncle.
Wait.
Yeah.
You thought you was getting a haircut? Like,
They told me I was going to get a haircut. I did get the haircut.
yeah.
But I also ended up here in America.
Interesting. Wow.
Yeah, to my aunt and my uncle.
So what's your first language?
My first language, it's English.
Oh, is it? Yeah?
Yeah, but I speak Ewe, which is, my mom is from the village side, so the Volta region. And then I'm also Ashanti. That's my dad's tribe. So Tree, I lost it, but I'm able to understand it, and I can say some stuff, but I'm really fluent in Ewe.
I'm familiar with Tree. Yeah, I hear that people speak that a lot. Okay. What's like a difference that you see? Was it like a culture shock for you? I knew you was 6. You was aware of it.
Yeah. It was completely different because everything was brand new. And it was like, everything changed. Like, being on the airplane, my ears was popping, I was in pain. I didn't know what was going on,
Yeah, that pop. That ear pop is something different.
And as a kid, you don't know what's going on. Yeah. So, being in Africa, I never, visualized the plane, it was like cars, soccer, different things like that. So being in one was completely different. I come in and everything is different. And ironically, I didn't know I wasn't even seeing the world for real. Not on a conceptual thing, but really physically. I had bad eyes, but no one knew. They just thought I was clumsy.
Yeah.
But it wasn't until I came to school here, and I was in class, and it was my second grade teacher, Mr. Nelson, was like, yo, he needs glasses.
Yeah.
And then we went to Lens Crafters on 22, and I got my first pair of glasses. My eyes was really bad. I was wearing the same prescription as my 70-year-old grandmother, right?
Oh, wow.
And then I put it on, and I'm like, damn, this is how everything really looks. So that means my whole entire 6-7 years of life, I wasn't seeing the world for real. You feel me? So it's everything was a whole culture shock.
Okay. Oh, wow. Yeah, all right. So, do you how long have you been in the tech field, and when did it pique your interest? What drew you to it?
Nothing drew me into it. I kind of fell into it. I went to school at Montclair State, and I wanted to be a lawyer. So I got my bachelor's in poli-sci with a minor in public administration. Then I got my master's in law and governance a year later. But then my aunt, who I also call my mom, she was struggling, so I decided to get into the workforce. So I got into finance, and I was working in the financial space. And I was like, I'll do a year here, then I'll follow my dreams in regards to law school, because I wanted to be a corporate attorney. Then I realized, I'm like, yo, all the skills I'm learning here, it still is applicable to what I'm doing now, and I could possibly make lawyer money without having the debt. So I applied to the Office of General Counsel, which is the legal department at New York Life. So applying for 2 to 3 years. I finally got in. But when I got in, I got 2 other offers. Another one as a business analyst at UBS. And then at Simon Markets was a startup. I was the 150th hire. And then someone, posed a question to me, do you want to be a small fish in a big pond or a big fish in a small pond? And I chose being a big fish in a small pond. And it was a startup tech company, finance. And the first 3 weeks was great. I wasn't learning nothing. I was getting paid more than I was getting paid at my current job. I was playing 2K from 9 a.m. to 1:30 a.m. and no one was checking for me. And then when they finally started to teach me, and they started teaching me this aspect of the program, and I took a liking more to the actual marketplace than the education aspect of our platform. And they gave me a task that's like, like giving me multiple different tasks. And it's like, I know we're putting a lot on you. I'll give you a priority of what needs to be done. I was looking at it, looking over the weekend. I was like, I think I got this. So Monday comes around. They didn't even send the list of the priority. I completed all 5. And then after that, they just gave it to me. So like now, like I own the entire product scheme of what I do. I knew nothing about tech. I decided to take my own supplementing courses because they're talking about it's going to take a sprint. It's a sprint. Who's running, right? Like, and then I did a CSM course and things like that, and I started to learn the jargon and the lingo, and now I'm an intermediary between. I have a very unique position being intermediary between the business side and sales and the tech side in regards to making sure that everyone, the quant, back-end, UI, UX engineers, we're able to execute on everything for us to basically make sales and increase revenue for the company.
That's dope, man.
Yeah.
Okay. Word. All right. Sometimes I feel like life happens like that.
Yeah.
It just kind of just falls in your lap. But not for, I feel like for a select few people though. And if you, whether you receive it or not, I feel like it's up to you.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that's a blessing, bro. So, let's deep dive into like your company, right?
Mm-hmm.
AudioMe.
Yeah.
You built AudioMe to change the way the world listens,
Mm-hmm.
right? What moment made you realize the world needed a new way to listen?
Because they were dissatisfied. From a statistical standpoint, 60% of people are dissatisfied based on the voice that they listen to audiobooks, right? Which leads to a 30% drop off, 25 to 15% retention of what, like 25% comprehension and 15% retention of what they're getting. So what I realized is me being part of a book club, it'll be people that, different ideologies, people who like the physical book versus people who actually like the audiobook. And one thing, some people's like, I hate the voice, right? So sometimes what I realize is that some people may not listen to a book, not because of the author, not because of the content or what's being discussed, simply because of the voice being narrated to them. So that spun in regards to like my thought process, in regards to what can I do to improve this, right? And I didn't initially care about the voice. So I was like, when I sat back in regards to creating an app, it's like, if I truly cared, what would I make? And that's how this became a thing. Is me truly caring about listening, reading, like retaining. It's like if I truly cared. So that's how I call it like a love letter to connection.
So you an avid audiobook reader? You would call
Avid,
it?
yeah, because I don't have the time, right? Based on the vast different things that I do, it's like sometimes I get tired of listening to music, right?
Yeah.
Listen to the same songs, things like that, and it's like with audiobooks, like it made work so much easier. At one point when I got into tech, it was during the pandemic, right? So I used to watch TV and do work, Now we're in the office. It's no TV, right? So I'm used to something auditory. I mean, like seeing something while I'm working. I picked up the audiobooks. I'm listening to it. It made work so much quicker, right? Sometimes in the gym, I listen to the book. In the sauna, listen to the book. And it just, on the commute to work, an hour, if I'm either driving to work or hour 33, listening to the book. So it just gave me like, people don't realize about books. Like books is a form of escapism in which you go into another place while physically being present.
I like that.
I like that. That's true for me, at least. Yeah,
for sure. But audiobooks, they have been here for like decades.
Mm-hmm.
So what's broken about them, and what is AudioMe doing to fix them?
So I think we have to break down broken, right? So physically, it isn't broken, right? Because it works, right? The outcome is for it to produce, books that you can listen to. Conceptually, some may say, which is subjective, that it's not efficient, right? It's not adequate. It's not enjoyable. The whole goal of audiobooks for it to be audio, right? So
The audio.
to me, that doesn't work. But just because the concept of like broken is that something needs to be broken to be fixed, right? But doesn't need to be broken in order to be improved, right? There's still place for innovation, right? And that's where innovation lands. Like even from a chair perspective, the whole goal from the chair is for us to sit in here, right? But who decided that maybe I want to swivel in the chair, right? It didn't mean the concept of the chair was bad. It's just there's another way in order to improve how we sit or what we wanted to do. So to me, it's just innovation like lies in the aspect in which when someone cares or finds the different ways in order to prove it, in which others don't, right? And that's how some people get rich. Is they find a solution to a problem that either people didn't know was a problem or complain about and never took an action in order to solve that problem.
Because that's all business is really about.
Yeah.
Finding a community or finding a problem and finding a solution to that problem, right? So yeah, that's big. I like how because usually sometimes, even as consumers, sometimes we ask ourselves like, I wish this was this way, but the consumer in us is not, sometimes we don't think as, oh, how can I create it? You know what I'm saying? We just kind of complain a little bit and then keep consuming. But okay, that's dope. My question, right? We in 2025, right? AI has taken the world by storm. It's safe to say, right? So, and a lot of people are afraid of AI. A lot of people, especially the older generation, they're kind of like, what is this new thing? What is it? ChatGPT, what's that? You know what I'm saying? Kind of fighting against it, the tail of the time, right?
Yeah.
So as you're a millennial, correct?
Yeah.
Right. When did you start to seek AI as like a creative partner instead of a threat? Because I know a lot of people see it as a threat. It's making us lazy, this and the forth. So when did you kind of think of it as this tool to use?
To me, off the bat, right? So as millennials, right, one thing about us is we sit in a very fine line between innovation, right? So we went to our grandparents' crib when they had the phone in which you'd spin around and stuff, right? To having the chirp, right, and the Raisin and the BlackBerry to the iPhone and stuff, phones that you can fold, We had the CD player, right? We had the Walkman, we had the iPod Minis, right? So for us, in regards to technology and innovation, we actually embrace it, right? Versus the older generation. I think the fear about AI, the fear about anything, right, is not understanding it. And sometimes people from the older generation, they don't understand certain things or they're too stuck in their ways, right? Because now let's go back to everything that they feared. At one point, they feared the internet. They feared computers. They feared social media. They feared electricity because they said, why are you playing God, right? So if we constantly go by the fear of how some people view it and not leaning into the innovation, we'll be stuck where we're stuck.
Absolutely.
They feared vaccination, steam engine, right? And the steam engine led to the Industrial Revolution to provide more jobs. At one point, computers, they're saying we're going to take away jobs, provide the whole entire tech space, right? Social media was going to do certain things, right? They feared it in regards to decaying things. Now you can grow and scale your business at a fast pace, right? They fear the internet being at home. It's like, to me, it's just another aspect in regards to people fear certain things before the innovation actually happens. It doesn't necessarily mean that it's bad. It's just that the lack of the forethought of people seeing it is what drives that fear.
Okay. That's a great answer. I ain't gonna lie. Okay.
No, for sure. To add on to Moses, he said how like AI kills creativity and AI like it kills like the effort, makes you more lazy. And a lot of people say that like AI kills like creativity. Do you think that AI can actually make stories more human?
Yes. So the thing is that one thing people think about AI is people think that AI is the product, right? But AI is an enhancer, right? It's not meant to be the full entire thing. It's meant to basically amplify what is already being done. So I'm gonna break it into two ways. AI for women as makeup, right? At the end of the day, is the foundation of the human face. Things you do, you can contour your nose. You can't make a whole entire nose. You can only refine it in order to show it, right? Just like in regards to a good barber, right? The blackout and things are enhancers, right? It's not the cut, right? So that's what AI is just basically to enhance it, right? It's not meant to be the product. So when we view it as the product, rather than a way in order to amplify what we're already doing, then I believe that's when it stifles creativity, right? When we solely just rely on it, rather than utilizing it as another person sitting next to us in order to write a song, right? Then that's when it stifles creativity. But if we use it in order to have a new train of thought, other ideas in which we didn't think about from a words perspective, then it doesn't kill creativity.
Right. Because I think of it, the way I think of AI, I think of it as kind of like what you said, like it expounds that idea that you had, right? Because oftentimes, especially as entrepreneurs and business owners, we'll have an idea, and we'll be so stuck on it, right?
Mm-hmm.
We'll be so, oh yeah, this is boom. But you ever had someone just, okay, that's a great idea, but here's a list of 10 other ideas that also fit that same, you know what I'm saying, that fit that same niche or that same direction that you're trying to go to. Then it's like, oh, I didn't even think of that.
Yeah.
You just kind of open. That's how I think of AI. Just having someone sitting there and be like, okay, that's a great idea, but how about this?
Mm-hmm.
Think of it this way. Mm-hmm. How, you can go this direction too. That's what I kind of look at it as, right? Yeah. Just a agent that's there to help you expound on your ideas.
Yeah.
And I don't understand why people are kind of scared of it, because it's like it could be your best friend. It doesn't necessarily have to make you lazy. One, we were already lazy.
Yeah.
No, for sure.
We were already lazy, right? You have to make the effort to not be lazy.
Yeah.
But you think AI is coming now is gonna no, we were already lazy. It's just gonna help us kind of here's what I can say about that, right? Mm-hmm. I think that people that are already lazy is the one that complaining about it. That's what I think. Because I think for me, I'm an entrepreneur, right? But it helps me tremendously, like in every aspect. It helps me with just names, coming up with new products, new ways to market, just things like that, right? So I never thought about it as like killing creativity. I think of it as just like stretching it.
Yeah. But to me, the thing is that, right, lazy versus ascension is two different things, right? Mm-hmm. So the car was an invention, absolutely, right? Yep. So then people will say it made it lazy, but now we're able to travel farther distance at less time than horseback, right? Yep. The plane, right? Rather than ships and boats and stuff, now we're able to go to. So the thing is, at the end of the day, there's a certain thing in regards to, there's a fine line. Like even when you get prescribed medicine, of course, there's going to be certain side effects. None of it is only going to be like good, but there's benefits in regards to what it's supposed to do that outweighs what the side effects are, right? That's the good thing about a good invention, a good product, right? So calculators, all of these things are inventions, but the thing is that they made us go to space. They made us do all these different things, right? So the masses in which it makes it lazy, to the few in which they can utilize it, it makes us go further.
I like that. That was well said. Okay. A little bit more about AudioMe, right? Mm-hmm. Company. It's described as community inspired, right? So what does that mean in practice? And can the audience really help shape the story?
Yeah. So my thing is that I wanted to make it interactive and immersive, right? Because if you think about book clubs, it's from us having conversations, right? Different perspectives, different thoughts. We're able to foster a different way of thinking and enhance how we're already viewing certain things. Currently, it's not a lot of platforms that do that, right? And I'm seeing that anything from a book perspective, people are forming their own communities within different applications. We have Book Talk, there's Bookstagram, there's BookTube. Yeah. When people basically have a TikTok just for books in which they recommend books, talk about books. People have their own separate Instagram that they just follow publishers, authors, things like that. They created these pockets in these applications already. I'm simply making an application completely for it, right? In which you can listen to a book and leave a comment timestamp in which someone can directly respond to it, or you can respond to it. You can host your book clubs directly on the platform. You can basically listen to the book in one language, read it in another for language learners. Like, so my whole thing voice cloning to put your voice into the book, right? For when you travel, if you have kids or anything like that, or let's say before a loved one passes, right? Some people that voicemail that they last got, that's saved completely for eternity, right?
Wow.
So my thing is that if I'm able to make it in which now you can envision yourself in a story and input your voice and other characters and actually shape your listening experience and how you enjoy the book. Because when I was in a book club, people describe like, oh yeah, this guy, I imagine him looking like this, sounding like this, built like this, things like that, right? If books are a means of escapism, right, and it's a whole different form of reality, why don't I give the person the ability, which is my tagline, it's a platform where everyone controls the story, right, to actually dictate the direction of the story. If you think this character sounds like that, input this character there. If you want to be a character in the book and there's another speaker, input that person there. We're already doing it in our minds, right? So it's like if I'm able to make it from a sensory perspective actually real and people can shape their listening experience, then they're basically shaping their own story, right? The book becomes theirs, right? And that's why I believe that it's something that was needed, because I saw it in real time of them doing it, right? So I was like, what if I help them in order, again, to enhance what they're already doing?
I feel like that'll open up another world for people who want to get into reading, but they're just like, nah.
Yeah.
And it's getting rid of, I guess, the that excuse, I guess.
Yeah.
So now you really could lock in.
Yeah, if I can like put the voice I be having in my head and like, yo,
because some voices are just soothing.
Yeah. I'm glad you said that. So even in my application, when I say you control the story, is that I'm making a way in which you can create folders for your favorite authors, the books, the speakers, the voices, and you can basically create catalogs of your voices for what books you like. So history, I like these voices. Thriller, I like these voices. Romance, I like these voices. And you can favorite voices, right? So that when you're listening to the book mid-translation, if this is not suiting your listening experience, you could change it while you're listening to the book, right? So you control every aspect, right? You have catalogs and folders of your favorite voices.
That's dope, yo.
Nah, I have to lock into that for sure.
That's fire. Yeah, I gotta check that out.
So if anyone in the world could upload a story right now, what voices or cultures would you want to be heard?
To me, I didn't want to limit it, right? It could be anything. One thing I was doing, I was talking to someone, right? They're reading a MBA book, right? And basically, with the voice that was attached to it, the MBA book, I think it was like AI voice, right? Default AI voice, generic one. It was mispronouncing the names of the basketball players wrong, like Giannis Antetokounmpo, right? Things like that, right? And it basically devalued their listening experience, in which it's like, I'd rather go buy it because I know what their names are, right? So my thing is, I feel like how many other books in which the ones that aren't voice narrated, how many books in which people are being disfranchised or not liking it because it doesn't yield to them, right? But I don't want to limit in regards to culture, because my thing is that to me, community and for people to basically share ideas and things is not limited in regards to school, because basically our environments, how we're raised, where we're from, all shapes and fosters a whole different way of thinking. Because one of the features is a live listening session, which you can host virtual book clubs, in which I want to make sure, and especially as I enhance the technology, it's not there yet. If I'm listening to the book in English, you're listening to it in Spanish, you listen to French at the same time, right? And we listen to the same book, different voices. My thing is that it's never meant to be anything that's culturally separated or anything. It's that this is connection. This is community, right? So that's my whole goal. So if someone is listening to this language, you could be able to read it in another, right? So from language learners, things like that. Think how many people we went to school with, especially when in the East Coast, right? Or in Jersey, we're so many massive amount of people from different countries, demographics, and things that are there, right? But sometimes what stops us is that we already have a preconceived or shared, notation of what other people are like based on what's negatively shown on TV. Even if you think from the African American versus the African population in regards to how we view each other, right? But this is like, yo, we have a shared love for the same exact thing, the book, right? Our own opinions, our own comments in regards to it, to actually foster collaboration, communication, right? That effective communication based on what's exactly in there. To me, I think there's no way to beat it, and there's no way to limit it.
That's tough, yo. I ain't gonna lie. I need this app. Okay. Wow. You could listen to the book in multiple languages at the same time. Sheesh. That's different. That's different. Okay. So, all right. This is basically gonna promote. This is gonna promote people to like want to read more.
Yeah.
Yeah, essentially, right? So yeah, wow. Okay. So what kind of like marketing concepts do you have in store? If you don't mind me asking.
It's like I started this pretty niche concept, right? It's not really niche. Again, a lot of things that we do are influenced by things that we see, right?
Of course.
So there's an Instagram profile. It's like BK Coffee Shop, and like they do skits in a coffee shop, shot in regards to angle, but they do it in episodes, right? I don't even know if it's a real coffee shop, but I be engaged in the stories, right? And if you think about what Drake is doing, what was doing with Iceman in regards to episodes, so my thing is that if I'm creating a platform for books, for stories, to me, my best aspect of marketing is to do episodes of stories, right? To actually tell a story, and within the story, show different uses of how I'm using the application. But it doesn't seem like advertisement. It's actually a show.
It's actually a show.
Mm-hmm. And it draws you in, right? So I filmed the first trailer, right? As of 2 weeks ago. I recently got it. I haven't watched it yet. I just got it during a mid-launch yesterday. So I can't wait to watch it and tell stories. So the whole concept is I have it in which, even with the launch, the flyer was me sitting in a therapist chair while the therapist is sitting here.
Yeah.
Right? Because when you go, you're telling him in regards to your life. So every time I start off, I'll be talking to him, and it leads to the story.
I think some of the best forms of marketing to me is like where you don't have to even like really say, hey, buy this.
Yeah.
Or, hey, this is boom. It just naturally flows. Like, you know what I'm saying? The concept and the product just flows together. So that's fire. Another question I wanted to ask you too. Production costs are a big barrier in the audiobook world.
Yeah.
How much cheaper or faster can creators publish using AudioMe?
I can convert a 700-page book into an audiobook in under 5 minutes. In multiple languages. So my thing is that
it's a game changer.
Yeah. My thing is that audiobooks are very costly, right? People don't really sometimes understand the concepts with the voice actors, in which you hire agency, they scout for the voice actor, you hire the voice actor, pay them anywhere from $100 to $300 an hour. Takes about sometimes the average of 30 hours to record the book, right? And then it goes to a production company in order to fine tune the voice. So it was one book I wanted to read. It was A.E. Valdez, All I Wanted, All I Needed. I reached out to the author. I said, I listen to audiobooks. I'm looking on Book Talk. Everyone is rating it 5 stars. I really want to read, so I should listen to it. One would be available. I reached out to her, I think March. She said the end of the year or the beginning of the following year, right? And I'm like, damn, I have to wait that long just to listen to the book. In regards to this, one thing, audiobooks are also expensive. In regards to this, it makes it, if it costs cheaper to produce now, and from a business standpoint, it should be also now it's cheaper for the consumers. Because you can get a paperback book for $7.99, $12.99, but the audiobook is $27, $25, right? And the thing is that believe it or not, audiobooks are the second most digitally consumed product behind music. But under 10% of books are in audiobook format.
Dang. Oh, I didn't know that.
Worldwide.
Worldwide.
Under 10% of books are in audiobook format. So the market is there.
Yeah.
Right? In order to make audiobooks. And there's some books that we want to listen to that were never pushed into the audiobook space. So my thing is this, if I'm able to have that, then there's certain books that I could possibly read. Because if you think about it, if it costs time and money in order to produce it, you're not going to want to make your lowest selling fruit or your book that's not generating a lot of copies into audiobook format.
Audiobook, because you're kind of losing out on that.
Exactly.
But if you could do it for lower cost, makes sense.
Increases the accessibility. That's the whole point. What I want to do is I want to decrease production costs, increase the accessibility, and make it enjoyable and immersive.
So those people that those agencies probably don't like you.
They may not, but my thing is that it's already being done right now.
Yeah.
Amazon Audible is working on 100 default AI voices currently, right? So the thing is that, and that's the one thing about AI, people worry about it replacing jobs. There's certain jobs in which it can't replace, right?
Yep.
However, I'm trying to figure out a way in which I've kind of developed a way in which I want the voice actors or authors or other people or people that love their voice or want their voice to be, I want to create a repository of voices. And so people make their voices public and people can select even regular people's voices or the top voice actors, their voice could be on the platform. And in the future, as the company and the brand grows, I want to basically compensate those people for their voices. So essentially, I'm not disfranchising them.
Like
exactly.
royalties.
I'm not disfranchising them based on what they're being done currently in the market.
So this app not only is great for book lovers, but it's great for authors.
Yeah.
And it could be great for people who do voice actors.
Yeah, the voice actors will definitely be in the future, but also publishers. Because think about it, right now, 60% of people are self-publishing to retain a lot of their rights, right? So now imagine, for the fraction of the cost, you can produce the ebook and the audiobook for a cheaper amount, increase distribution on my platform. Because one feature that I love about the application is that I made a feature in which I'm trying to basically make the consumers marketers of their product. Right. So I'm giving people the ability to clip 30 seconds of their favorite part of the book in the voice of their choosing in order to share it. So now imagine when you click on it and like, yo, this part of the book is amazing. You buy the book.
Yeah.
Rather than you being only privy to the preview. So I know like you guys went to school in Jersey, right?
Yeah.
So you know how you guys had the school lunch, which, the lunch program, then they had the little other room. But they had the wings, the sugar cookies, and all of that, right? You the guys didn't have that?
Not for me.
Nah.
Hey, what school y'all go to?
Wait, you talking about the room?
You know how like they didn't serve like wings and other things which you had to pay for?
Oh yeah.
It
It had something at lunch like that. Like they served everything, but they had this little corner with like a little convenience store with a booth and everything. They had like all types of sugary and stuff you weren't really supposed to eat, but they had it.
Nah. I
That's
was
great.
in Patterson, New Jersey.
Word, but that's what they had. And I went to, I was in Irvington, but I went to Hillside, right? And they had that. So they'll sell the sugar cookies, M&M, chocolate chip, things like that.
Oh, that's what you're talking about.
Yeah.
Oh, yes. Empanadas and...
Yes, right?
You got empanadas?
Yeah.
We ain't have empanadas, but that's fancy.
Some Patterson joke right
Patterson's
there.
65% Dominican.
So based on that, right? I used to imagine like sometimes when you buy it, people are like, let me get a piece, right? And then you eat a piece of that sugar cookie, and it tastes like the best fucking cookie you've ever had. Then you go buy it, and it don't really taste the same, right? That's the concept that made me have this, right? It's that the book could be bad, right? But this 30 seconds of the book, it's the greatest thing you ever heard. It makes you buy the book. It's the piece of the sugar cookie. It's the piece of the cookie, the piece of the wing that someone gave you for you to listen to. And you're like, damn, like for you to eat. And it's like, damn, like, all right, now I'm going to go buy it. Incentivize you to go buy it. So as such, if you're any publisher, you have a following, etc., right? A lot of times when if you have like your own event or whatever, you want people to repost, right? Share it, things like that. But this, rather than people just sharing a cover, they can share excerpts of your book for people to buy it.
No, that's pretty dope. So, with all that, what's the biggest mistake you see creators or tech founders make when building an AI platform?
Is that again, they think AI is an executor rather than an enhancer, right? If you think about even how you utilize ChatGPT, people just ask a question, it gives them the answer, and they take it, right? However, what you're supposed to do is you're supposed to prompt it. You assign it a role. You provide it a context, what you need to be done. And when it gives you an answer, you have to further constantly keep refining it in order to get exactly what you want. So a lot of people there, AI is only as good as the data you input, right? So a lot of founders, they're creating applications. They're not worried about the data. They're not really thinking about the users, right? You create a chat box and it's giving you generic answers. However, every problem isn't the same, right? You have to constantly refine it with different situations in order to give you the best possible solution for things that you want to do. So the data, the integrity in regards to it being fast to produce. As you know, sometimes haste makes waste, right? One thing I was talking to a VC company is like, oh, you saying your app is going to take an additional 2 to 3 months to make, but there's people who are creating apps within 2 weeks, right, with AI, right? But that doesn't mean it's a better product, right? Just because they're able to churn something at a better, if it's not made from a foundational, structural, data integrity, all of these different things, it can make the foundation and you constantly refine it, but there's nothing, like, it's not meant to just create the product for you. You have to constantly refine it. And sometimes some creatives, they're getting mad because some people are churning out books using AI, but it's taking some of the language from other books, right? Think about when we used to write essays, no plagiarism, right? We'll take the paragraph, then we'll write in our own different words, structure it, and now we made that one paragraph 4 to 5 paragraphs, right? The whole thing is, again, to be an enhancer, not the product. And what these founders are doing is that they're making AI be the product rather than being something to use it to augment it to create a better product. Like, that's what I'm saying. I need the people to input their voices, and we're going to have to constantly keep improving it for it to sound more realistic as possible. It can't just be done in one shot and boom, that's it. You know, we have to constantly make it better. So to me, I think it's the haste and thinking that it executes on it rather than just being an enhancer.
Cool. Enhancer.
Okay. My question, right? Next question. I want to ask, in 10 years, what is the future of listening? What does it look like to you?
To me, it's going to be personalized, participatory, right? And another thing is, I think it's going to be more immersive, right? I think right now listening is a passive thing. I think in the future it's going to be sensory, right? So now imagine listening to a book and it's adapting to your every emotion, right? Right? Or music, and you're running, you're getting fatigued, and it picks up, right? Mm-hmm. To me, that's how I think what listening is going to be. So it's going to adapt based on who you are, rather than you just being not you just being a passive listener. You're going to actually be active in regards to it, right? You're going to become a co-creator. And that's where I'm going to, the space that I'm going to, because I think that's where it's going to lead in regards to, now think about, you're listening to a pod. Some people may not listen to the whole thing. It summarizes it within 10 minutes in regards to you understand every single aspect of the pod, right? Or in regards to you listening to the book or listening to a pod, music, etc., and it changes how you feel, right? It knows exactly how you feel, recommendations based on your tone, feeling, things like that. Like, to me, I think that's the future of what listening is going to be. It's going to be something that basically is very adaptive to the person, making it personalized, making participatory, and being very, very intentional.
I like that. So if Apple or Audible called you tomorrow, mm-hmm. and it was like, yo, like, we're trying to buy AudioMe, mm-hmm. would you sell it, or would you keep it and build into something big, like a storytelling giant?
Yeah, I won't sell.
You won't sell it?
I won't sell it. As I said, this app is a love letter to connection, right? Like it's personal for me, right? And I have spaces in my mind of where I want to utilize this in, or where I think it could possibly go, that they haven't touched yet, right? The thing about it, sometimes having a great product, a great idea, is sometimes you don't want to put everything out too early to be competing with somebody with more money with your idea. So my thing is that right now I'm a small fish, right? But there's a certain place I want to go in which they haven't gone yet. And to me, I think as the person who's like pioneering and who's like product, whose love letter it is, it's like I can't just pass it on to someone, right? Until I constantly see it through, and see it through in the vision and the way of how I want it to be. So right now, I don't think the value, right? Love is one of the things in which it doesn't go by logic, right? It doesn't go by value, accounts, measure, right? It's simply like instinct, right? And it's intentional and it's like charged at something, right? So to me, that's how I'm utilizing this application, right? The more people that enjoy, even from the theme of the launch, it was a love letter connection. At the end of the launch, I created a way for people based on their industries and professions to have color-coded name badges with their name on it based on the industry they're in, for them to network and talk to each other. If we're saying that everyone has someone here, right? There's 6 degrees of separation, which people classify this as a small world, that between every one of us, there's 2 people that connect us worldwide, right? And that what we're trying to do, what we're trying to accomplish, there's someone here that can aid us in order to get further in life, right? So my thing is that for everyone to write their own story in that room, right? Because this is a platform where everyone can control their story. So to me, I don't think a bigger company or a person that only thinks about the bottom line will understand what I'm truly trying to do. And I don't want to dilute what the love that I'm basically trying to show the world with this application.
Well said. Well said. That was good. Yeah.
Sure.
Okay. Let's talk about ethics.
Okay.
Right. How do you protect authors and narrators from being replaced or exploited by AI?
Yeah. So right now, I think there are some things that's being implemented. Again, as I was telling you, people are churning out books with AI, which is stealing other people's 20%, 50% of other people's work. That's something, I can't be involved in. But one thing in regards to, from a narrator and thing perspective, all the voices, I'm basically treating it as you have to consent to put your voice in, right? One thing I also want to do is give people the ability to either make their voice private, just to their followers, or public in regards to having in a public repository for them to basically, in the future, profit off of it, right? So to me, in regards to what I'm doing, everything from protecting the authors, etc. Let's say someone publishes the book into the platform, ebook and audiobook format. Books, when they're registered, they have like an ISBN number and things like that. So I'm creating an approval model in order to verify that this person, based on the information they provided, actually owned the rights to this book. So that's how I'm protecting them, so that other people aren't pasting in their work in order to monetize off it. However, I do have a text-to-speech functionality, which people, if they have a PDF version, that they can just listen to it personally, but they can't monetize off of it. There's other applications that's currently doing it, but they already purchased the book and they have the copy of it. So it's not infringing on that rights. I just need to stop it from being distributed and monetized off someone's hard-earned work from a creative standpoint.
Beautiful. Okay. Word.
So to add this question, what's one underrated benefit of AI that an average person doesn't understand yet?
That AI can give you more time in a day than people think that they can, right? So to me, the 2 biggest commodities in life is what? Time and money, right? And the thing is, time is something, money is something that if you lose, you can possibly get back. Time currently, no matter how much money you have, Jeff Bezos, anyone, they can't buy more time, right? So if you can use AI in order to save that time, sometimes I use AI in order to, I prompt it to act as an expert communicator. I give it what I wanted to write about, and it basically crafts the message, emails that I wanted to send to these different people, these 3 different people. I could say, create a contract. These are what I want the contracts to be. Tailored to this, based on this company. These are the individuals, exported as a PDF. Now I have 6 contracts with 6 people, different names on it, that I can just ship out for them to ship to me, right? It just saved me time, processed it, within a minute to 5 minutes of everything that I wanted. And I tailor it to exactly what I wanted to say from a speech perspective. And now, rather than that, I have more time in my day, right? Steve Jobs, all of them, they believe in time economics. That's why you see he always wear the blue jeans or the black shirt, etc., right? The less decisions you make in the day, right, the better and quality your decisions are, right? So if you utilize that in order to basically make some of the minuscule decisions for you during the day, you can basically utilize your time to make greater decisions or do things in order to either yield you more time or be more profitable and give you more money, and actually also save you money rather than hiring a consultant or a lawyer to draft these contracts up for you, charging you about $300 to $500 an hour, right? Really taking them 5 to 10 minutes because it's a standardized contract, and charging you a certain billable hour.
I got a question. Do you think that the quality, now that we have AI in the palm of our hands, right? Do you think that the quality of books, like the just the literature output, is gonna decrease by any, like, do you think that is gonna be affected in any way? Just like the quality, because people was writing these books on paper, pen to paper, and typing. Do you think that it's gonna be, in any way, like, less, just like less like the quality? Do you think that it's gonna, like, go down a little bit? Or
To me, it just, again, it's one of the side effects. It just depends on the user, right?
yeah,
Any tool, depending on whose hands, can either be dangerous or it can be beneficial, right?
Yeah.
So like, you can give someone else a gun, right? It could be used in order to protect, or it could be used in order to end life, right? So to me, it's like, it just depends on who is utilizing the product and how they're utilizing it in order to produce outputs. Like, some people can use it from a monetary standpoint, produce a mass amount of books that all sound the same. That decreases the quality, right? But someone can utilize it in order to refine in regards to make this more mysterious and thrilling and things like that, deep and dark. Now you're listening to a book based on what they already provided, tailored to its actual storyline, right? That is already created, that they have made themselves, again, to enhance it, to make it a more heart-crunching book or heartwarming book for you. So again,
Exactly.
it just depends who utilizes it and how to utilize it.
Okay. For entrepreneurs listening, what's the hardest part about building something people can't fully imagine yet?
So, and I think you said it when we were speaking earlier, right? Like, I think what Les Brown says, the hardest thing I ever had to do was believe I could make $1 million. The easiest thing I ever had to do was make $1 million, right? So the one thing is that a lot of things that stifles us is believing that we can do it, right? So everything in regards to life, things that we take steps in order to do, they all come with its own trials, tribulations, struggles, in which we need to do, right? The thing is that, how long can you withstand in regards to what you're doing? Like, you having the same vision, passion, right? When that feeling has disappeared, right? Can you still maintain the same momentum after that initial feeling has gone, right? To me, I think that's the hardest thing. If you have a product in which you can explain it really well, or like express passion, which we lack currently as a generation, right? And people are able to buy into the idea, no matter how far-fetched the idea is, someone is going to buy into it and want to do it with you, right? But the thing is that if you don't believe in it, right, and it all comes with you first, right? If no one was around to tell you that something won't work or it wouldn't work, right, would you ever really have doubt? So to me, it's took the full belief in yourself in order to execute. We all have so many ideas, but none of us actually take steps in order to execute, right? But then when we reach those struggles, do we still believe in it that much in order to pursue it, right? People say in order to kill a big dream, tell a small mind.
Yeah.
Right. To me, if it was that big of a dream, why would a small mind kill it? Right. To me, I have three people in which they like very risk adverse. Right. When I have an idea, I call them to tell them the idea. If they're able to stop me from doing the idea,
It wasn't that big.
it wasn't that big. I wasn't meant to do it. Right. But if I'm able to have answers to their rebuttals and their concerns and their risks and things, and they have nothing else to say, I'm going. So to me, that's how I think of it. To me, it's all a mindset thing. So many things that we can possibly do, that we sometimes it just takes us to believe in. I think the hardest thing is actually doing it, right? Despite, especially from innovation, despite what people think won't happen. How many people, if like the Wright brothers saying that we're gonna fly, man can't fly. This can't happen. This da da da. Right? To be insane to still do it despite no one else seeing it, right? And that, to me, I think that's why they said there's a fine line between genius and insanity, especially from an innovation standpoint. Like, you have to be crazy enough to do things that people don't think is possible to do.
That's deep.
Well said. That was good. Wow. Okay.
Like that.
Yeah.
So if you could have any historical figure create their own story using AI, who would it be and why?
So, I mean, he passed, so I guess he could be counted as historical, right?
Yeah.
Kobe.
Oh yeah.
Ooh.
Right. So to me, a lot of the person of who I am, you know, it boils down to two people, Kobe and Kanye, right? You know, despite Kanye's like intrinsic, being an African, right, and not being able to be creative or, you know, go against the grain, right? I'm gonna be the biggest fashion designer. I'm gonna create this. One thing about him, every time is people create, they criticize, then they adopt it, right? Every single time, despite what it is. They criticize and adopt it. Foam runners, it ugly, looks like alien shoes. Everyone is wearing it. Right? Oh, homeless clothing, holes in it. Then Zara ASOS has it in it. Now we all wearing shirts with holes, right? They always criticize and adopt it. In regards to Kobe, in regards to the mentality, right? He wasn't the most physically gifted, right? Everything that he had to do was hard work, right? Even right now, the things that he has accomplished is being diminished because he lives in another man's shadow. He became Jordan 2.0, right? But as such, it's like, why do we need 2.0 when we have one, right? So as such, he wasn't that great because he didn't win as much as one, right? But from a skill set standpoint, it's how he executed. He fine-tuned what this person did and elevated it to his own thing. To me, he meant that much to me, right? The mama mentality, things like that, working, going all out in regards to things that you have. To me, one thing, especially when I thought of this, that I loved my grandmother. I can't have my grandmother read to me, right? But like, let's say if I have access to Kobe's voice, right? If I'm able to have access to it, right? And I wanted to utilize it. Imagine the person that you looked up to that derived you in regards to your work ethic. Even from just you typing it, one more rep. One more, right? And just playing it, and he's saying it to you. Right. What type of battery in your back would it put in order for you to do the things that you want to do?
Wow.
So,
Especially a guy like Kobe, man. Like, that's one thing I always respect about him. I'm a LeBron guy.
I'm a LeBron guy too.
That's one thing. I just love the way he competed.
yeah.
Like, he obsessed about basketball. You know what I'm saying? And that's something. That's a quality I could kind of take and like run with it, because you could apply that to real world.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Obsessing about one thing. That's one thing I had to learn. Like, if you would put 120% to one thing, the sky's the limit.
Yeah.
At that point, right? So I always respected Kobe when it came to that. So that's a great choice for sure. Yeah. Man, okay. Yeah, having Kobe saying one more, I might lift the gym up.
Nah,
I might lift the gym up, man.
One more.
Oh man. So okay. I want you to finish this one sentence for me.
Okay.
Right. 5 years from now, AudioMe will be known as the platform that
Change the way the world listens.
there you go.
Change the world listens.
Where can AudioMe be found?
So right now, so I had the launch party, but I had a little snafu with the developers, right? So my developers are outsourced and currently in Pakistan.
Yeah.
Right? There's an outbreak going on, something called dengue. It's like related to like malaria, right?
Yes.
So they haven't pushed the latest iteration of the app into the store, but I'm waiting on them to push it in the store as soon as they feel better, because I got human rights, human integrity, and just love for them and what they have been doing for me. But as soon as they're good and ready, it will be on the Apple as well as the Google Play Store for people to download and to utilize it. And I definitely want people, when they're utilizing it, constant feedback, right? And that's why it's also a community-inspired platform, and why based on your thing, why certain founders, they fail because they don't take into account their users. AI doesn't take into account really the users of who utilizing the application. It's creating an application, but it's like, to me, if it's constant input, right, of what they need and how I'm able to curate the experience from a user workflow, then I've created a great application, right? So one thing when it's available to download and people are able to download, my thing is that I want people to basically utilize it how they need to utilize it in order to create their own listening experience. So that's what I'm working on, and I definitely want tons of feedback and for the masses, right? So, but as soon as it's done, I'll definitely share it with you guys.
For sure.
And everyone to basically disseminate. And the only thing, even at the launch, is the only thing I ask for people to do is, when it's available, download and use it, share it. And I gave them a trajectory of the partnerships that I wanted to work with, as well as where I was heading in regards to features and things, was to aid to make it a reality, right? In regards to all fashion. So that was really it. That's all I asked for, a gift, and that's why I'm able to be here with you guys, because the one thing that I wanted to do and the one gift that I wanted from people was to download, use, share, and aid. And as I sit here today on my birthday, that's what we're doing, right? We're sharing it, and whoever listens to it, who loves the idea, who thinks that they have the ability to connect me with others in order to make this bigger than what it is, then it's a gift, in itself, So I'm grateful. I'm grateful to be here with you guys.
Of course, I'm grateful you came, bro. Like, this is, I feel like this platform, this application is gonna be very inspiring, very helpful to people, especially avid book readers, right?
Yeah.
Exactly.
I think this is gonna be really big, bro, and I'm proud of you.
Even the
so much.
people.
I'm pretty sure you heard that a lot yesterday, but I'm proud of you, bro.
I'm proud of you. Three things.
Yeah.
But let me say something for these three things, especially for those that want to get into reading. Now, three things. One, I'm proud of you.
Appreciate you.
Two, happy birthday.
Thank you.
Yo, yeah, happy birthday, bro.
And then three, if we need somebody for commercial ad, I'm the guy. Change the way the world listens.
He's just on this shit. That was on this shit. Nah, but all right. Where can they find you?
Find me at _GR8TGOD, Great God. And then for AudioMe, it's Audio With Me. At Audio With Me on Instagram.
Oh, bet.
All right, that's dope. All right, man.
Sure.
Thank you for tuning in to this week's episode of the Value Menu Podcast. I'm Moses.
I'm Danelle.
And we out of here, man.
Sure.
Appreciate you.